years ago, Ann Richards became the 45th governor of Texas, the second woman to ever serve the state. Known for her wit, her tough-talking persona, she gained national attention when she gave the keynote address at the 1988 Democratic National Convention. This morning, Margaret Justice, who served as Governor Richards' deputy press secretary, joins us this morning to talk a little bit more about her. Good morning, Margaret. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Leslie. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Margaret, we know that this inauguration week is going to be a historic one of sorts for women and people of color, but it seems that 30 years ago, Texas was already making strides. What was it like to work for Ann Richards?
You know, folks ask me that a lot, and I just answer every time with it was incredibly exciting and fulfilling, and I will never, ever forget it. You know, Ann was a true public servant, someone who believed that government should be something folks should trust, and she held that sacred trust close to her heart. And really, she strived every day to make state government the most efficient, the most compassionate, and the best really in the history of the state.
Right. Margaret, how did you land a job like this? I think you had some background in communications, but how did that then transition to this?
You know, did what you were doing. I was a TV journalist. I worked in markets like Houston, Kansas City, and Des Moines. Originally from Kansas City area, but I've been in Texas for 30 years. I walked into her campaign after I moved from Houston to Austin and as a volunteer. And after about a month, they figured out that I had background in television news and journalism, and so they put me in the press office and started paying me.
And talk a little bit about what that era was like in terms of politics. We've seen just a whole different political world in these last couple of years, even just from 10 years ago, let alone 30 years ago. So what was that like?
You know, what it was a time of decency and civility in public service. And that's what Ann stood for, and really her predecessors as well. I mean, it was a time of peaceful transition. When we came to Austin to take on the state government, we talked about it in a symbolic fashion of taking back the capital for the people of Texas. There was nobody brandishing assault weapons or camo gear. Folks really were celebrating that day in history. It was a tapestry of Texans there that day, just like her appointments to public office. Folks from all color, creed, political parties, and really believed that government should look like the people of Texas. And that's really what her campaign embodied, and it rang true that day and certainly through the remainder of her administration.
Right. Margaret, we have about a minute left, but I want to ask you, we know that women have made great strides in politics, but there's still much work left. Do you have any advice for any women who might be watching who want to start off in the political realm?
You know, I think it's important that women who are interested in politics to get involved early, volunteer in campaigns, understand what it takes to run a campaign, pay attention to current affairs, follow the news, and really follow leaders that you respect and would like to have them mentor, and ask to get involved. And before you know it, if you make yourself indispensable in a campaign or in some form of office, a government office, it pays off. It really does. And I think, you know, government is a better place, a better form of government when everyone is represented at the table.
All right. Thank you so much, Margaret. We'll leave it right there. Thank you for your time.
Sure.